This is something that I've observed over the years that has undermined many an effort. The problem is that when these advocates begin to feed themselves off of your financial gifts, they begin to pander naturally to the lowest common denominator. This has always happened. Now, sometimes they start out pandering totally to the lowest common denominator. Sometimes they start out a little above that, sometimes a lot above that. But where they're going to make the most money and secure their food, their daily bread for that day and the days to come, is inevitably where they end up with their arguments. What do they believe in the white sympathetic sphere? They have been horribly infected with mean pathogens. They believe that the only way to contest, that there are only a few ways to contest anti-whiteism. You could be like milquetoast on one end, or you could go the villain route. You could play the antagonist in the anti-white narrative. So you need to ask yourself, when you are going to support, and that's just watching, that's just talking about, that's just interacting, much less actually giving money to anybody. You need to ask yourself, are they eating on what I'm giving them? Is their message influenced by the fact that they need to make enough money off of it to eat? Because if it is, then you have to ask yourself, are they telling me what I want to hear, or are they telling me what I need to hear? If what you wanted to hear worked, it would have worked a long, long time ago. What you need to hear turns off a lot of people at first, and they kind of yo-yo. Some of them get it right away, and they start implementing what works. Others kind of do the yo-yo thing back and forth, and then finally they stay. But what you want to hear and what you need to hear are very different things. You can think about over the course of your life when you've received advice that you did not want to hear. Like, you wanted to hear that it's everyone else's fault. You wanted to hear that it's everyone else's fault. You did nothing wrong. You're great the way you are. You don't have to do anything. But they told you, no, the only person you can change is you. The only person that can change your environment is you. The only person that can change your outcomes is you. And then you immediately knew, oh God, that sucks, as most people use the colloquium. But you realized at that point that if there was going to be any change, you were going to have to do it. Now, if that person didn't really care about you, they would just tell you, you're perfect the way you are. You don't have to do anything. It's everybody else's fault. You got the bad grades because the teacher doesn't like you. You didn't get the job because they don't like you at the job. You didn't get the promotion. You didn't get the girl. You didn't get the guy, because it's always their fault. Most of the time, it's going to be something that you can affect, that you can change. And you needed somebody to have a little bit of hard love. That's what happens with going free. I never put food on my plate with a financial gift. I am able to sustain myself off of money that I acquire elsewhere. And then I'm able to always use financial gifts in ways that I feel are most productive for white well-being, rather than putting food on my plate or getting biscuits for the dog, right? So that is where I have remained, and that is where I will remain for as long as is possible, and maybe that's forever. And that way, you will never have to worry about me ever making a decision. There will never be a conflict of interest, as there is with profit panderers when it comes to talking to you all. I need to be in a place based on what our people need to hear. I need to be in a place for you to hear my message and to say, screw this, and walk away. I need to be in that place. And if my food depends on you adopting what I am talking about, what I'm saying you need to do to be a better person so that we can recapture our destiny, then there's a conflict, because a rumbling stomach and looking through the little hole that I carved out of a cardboard box for the window is a serious issue. It would seriously be motivating a person to say, well, maybe just tell them something a little different. Get them to stick around. I'm not going to give you that. I'm going to give you the cure. And that's always going to be, that's my promise to you. And that's always going to be the way it is.